A filling station is a facility that sells fuel and engine lubricants for motor vehicles. The most common fuels sold in the 2010s were gasoline and diesel fuel. Fuel dispensers are used to pump gasoline, diesel, compressed natural gas, CGH2, HCNG, LPG, liquid hydrogen, kerosene. Alcohol fuel vehicles is an air compressor. Although generally these are just used to inflate car tires. The convenience stores found in filling stations typically sell confections, cigarettes, lottery tickets, soft drinks, snacks and, in some cases, a small selection of grocery items, such as milk. Some also sell propane or butane and have added shops to their primary business. Conversely, some chain stores, such as supermarkets, discount stores, warehouse clubs, or traditional convenience stores, have provided fuel pumps on the premises. In North America, the fuel is known as gasoline, or gas for short, and gas station is used in the United States, Canada, New Zealand, and the Caribbean. In some regions of Canada, the term gas bar is used. In the rest of the English-speaking world, the fuel is known as petrol, and the term petrol station or petrol pump is used. In the United Kingdom, Ireland, New Zealand, and South Africa, garage is still commonly used. Similarly, in Australia, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and Ireland, the term service station describes any petrol station. Australians also call it a servo. In India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, it is called a petrol pump or a petrol bunk. In Japanese, a commonly used term is gasoline stand, although the abbreviation SS is also used. The first filling station was the City Pharmacy in Wieslek, Germany, where Bertha Benz refilled the tank of the first automobile on its maiden trip from Mannheim to Pforzheim back in 1888. Shortly thereafter, other pharmacies sold gasoline as a side business. Since 2008, the Bertha Benz Memorial Route commemorates this event. The first Postão de Gasolina of South America was opened in Santos, Brazil. In 1920, it was located on Ana Costa Avenue, in front of the beach, in a corner that is located by the Hotel Atlântico. It was an Esso gas station, brought by Antonio Duarte Moreira, a taxi entrepreneur. In Russia, the first filling stations appeared in 1911, when the Imperial Automobile Society signed an agreement with the partnership Bridge Noble. By 1914, about 440 stations functioned in major cities across the country. In the mid-1960s in Moscow, there were about 250 stations. A significant boost in retail network development occurred with the mass launch of the car Zhiguli at the Volga automobile plant, which was built in Tolyatti in 1970. Gasoline for other than non-private cars was sold for ration cards only. This type of payment system stopped in the midst of perestroika in the early 1990s. Since the saturation of automobile filling stations in Russia is insufficient and lags behind the leading countries of the world, there is a need to accommodate new stations in the cities and along the roads of different levels. The increase in automobile ownership after Henry Ford started to sell automobiles that the middle class could afford resulted in an increased demand for filling stations. The world's first purpose-built gas station was constructed in St. Louis, Missouri, in 1905 at 420 South Theresa Avenue. The second station was constructed in 1907 by Standard Oil of California in Seattle, Washington, at what is now Pier 32. Rayad's gas station in Altoona, Pennsylvania claims that it dates from 1909 and is the oldest existing filling station in the United States. Early on, they were known to motorists as filling stations. The first drive-in filling station, Gulf Refining Company, opened to the motoring public in Pittsburgh on December 1, 1913, at Baum Boulevard and St. Clair's Street. Prior to this, automobile drivers pulled into almost any general or hardware store, or even blacksmith shops in order to fill up their tanks. On its first day, the station sold 30 US gallons of gasoline at 27 cents per gallon. This was also the first architect-designed station and the first to distribute free road maps. The first alternative fuel station was opened in San Diego, California, by Pearson Fuels in 2003. Maryland officials said that on September 26, 2019, RS Automotive in Tacoma Park, Maryland became the first filling station in the country to convert to an EV charging station. Most filling stations are built in a similar manner, with most of the fueling installation underground, pump machines in the forecourt and a point of service inside a building. Single or multiple fuel tanks are usually deployed underground. Local regulations and environmental concerns may require a different method, with some stations storing their fuel in container tanks, entrenched surface tanks or unprotected fuel tanks deployed on the surface. Fuel is usually offloaded from a tanker truck into the tanks through a separate valve located on the station's perimeter.